the view of the country from here behind the wheel. Coffee shakes and high hopes take the edge off and conceal.
I'm Jeffery Straker. I'm a singer-songwriter pianist, and I'm about to release a brand new album, a 12-song LP called Dirt Road Confessional. I grew up on a farm in Saskatchewan, and my parents listened to a lot of country music and old-time music. And at the same time, I was really interested, as I grew up, I was interested in the words and the poetry of singer-songwriters like Joni Mitchell and Neil Young. And at the same time as all that was going on, I was also really a sucker for a really good pop music hook. So all of those things combined and somehow we merged on this album, and the sonics are kind of a roots folk inspired singer-songwriter record.
Then she sings a slow, sad song.
So thematically, what sort of emerged amongst the songs on this record is that there's a bit of a tug between life on the road as a musician, where you're pretty much constantly on the go. Everything's changing every day. You're not really allowing yourself to get too familiar with anything, sort of in counterpoint with a desire for love and a relationship, which typically requires stability and being in one place. So those two things are juxtaposed against each other on the record, and it was really amazing to see how thematically those two things came out in almost all of the songs. The way I set out to make this record was really different than anything I've ever done in the past. I've typically worked with one producer, but this time out I knew I wanted to work with several different producers. First I worked with Ledwell in Nova Scotia, and I'm a big fan of his production. I've been a fan of his for a long time. And we were able to get together and do 3 songs at his Echo Lake studio just outside Halifax. And it was a really beautiful setting, and it was really inspiring to make music there. And he did a really great job, and he started to set up this idea of what the record was going to sound like, and it was all, you know, obviously natural, organic instrumentation. It started to get this roots feel. I did 2 songs with Dean Drouillard, a producer in Toronto, and we sort of kept on this roots folk influenced theme. We recorded the song Get What You Give. Get What You Give is a real stark production of a ballad about the notion of love, and that literally, I think in life what you sort of figure out is you get back what you put out. It's a very reciprocal sort of thing, and it's a story song about that, and I think the production he surrounded it with is really lovely. 2 songs on the album were actually co-written and co-produced with a fella named Royal Wood, and I got set up in the co-writes with Royal in a funny way, in that we both discovered that our schedules would only allow us to co-write on these 2 very specific days, and on those specific days that we both had openings, he was in LA. So I was like, well then I'm just going to go to LA, plane tickets are cheap, off I go. What really sunk in on the way there was I was like, we're gonna try to write and produce a song while there, and I was like, this is impossible. Then I realized if I tell myself it's impossible, it will be impossible, so I told myself it was possible. So we got there, and we wrote a song with engineer Lawrence Katz, the 3 of us together, called Bravery. It's pretty catchy, and it's got a great feel, and I love how the sonics turned out. There was actually a last-minute addition to the record, which was the song Queen of Broken Souls, that ended up being produced by Robyn Dell'Unto in Toronto. And as I lined up all the songs into a sequence, I realized there was a part of the story as an album that was missing, and I really like to try to tell a full story with all the songs on the record. So Queen of Broken Souls is basically about a washed-up rock star woman who's now playing the piano in a piano bar, probably in Las Vegas or somewhere like that. And you know, she was once the queen of rock and roll, and now she's the queen of broken souls. These people who sit around the piano bar smoking cigarettes and drinking whiskey and you know, staring at their table. 4 of the songs on the record were co-produced by a production duo of Brad Prosko and Murray Pulver, and they really continued this folk roots theme, probably even more than anyone else did, which I really liked. And Murray's like a ninja guitar player, so it was great to get his you know, his signature on some of these songs as well.
Let go, yeah, let my heart lead the way. I've got a pocket full of promises. I've made to myself. The prophets on their bar stools say only time will tell. I've been thinking about the faces I never get to know. Don't let myself get too close, for do